Just after watching the tape, what went wrong on the glass against LSU earlier this week?
I thought it was a couple things. One, it was some weird misses, a couple air balls, a couple just like front rims that came off really fast. But for the most part, it was long shots, which equal to long rebounds. And I thought they did a good job of not necessarily going to get the ball, but smacking it out when we were trying to catch it. So I thought they did a good job of that. I thought it was unique in the sense of Hannibal, as a point guard, crashed the glass really hard. And most times the point guard gets back, and so you don't really have to account for him. And in this instance, he was crashing hard, whether he was, had fell down coming from out of bounds or crashing in from the perimeter. He did a good job of doing that. And so combination of those things, I think, played into it. Didn't think we were great driving guys back. I thought the initial hit, the initial block out was good, but then as far as finishing the job by driving them out, I didn't think we did a great job on that, and that's something we got to clean up moving forward, especially preparing for Texas A&M, who is one of the best, if not the best, offensive rebounding team in the country.
Coach McMahon had a lot of praise for your guys' off-ball screening. Who's the best off-ball screener on the team, and who's the best at rubbing off it?
Man, off-ball screening. I think Santi does a great job of it, and getting guys open. Here lately, Jordan's been really good, especially that underneath out of bounds. Him and Dalton together. And I would say Dalton's really good at coming off of them. I would say Santi's another guy that's really good at coming off of those screens.
Rick talked about telling you during the game how much just better Jordan's gotten defensively. How much does that do for him being able to stay on the court for long periods of time?
I think it does a lot. With Coach, if you don't guard, if he doesn't feel like you're guarding to the level that he wants you to, or you need to, then you're not going to play. And so I think the better he can defend, the better that he can sustain it for longer stretches. I think will play into that.
Coach, you played the position as a forward player. What Kai is doing right now? How impressive is it? And where do you see him making the biggest growth this year?
Yeah, it's really impressive. And I joke around with him a lot, but he is, the jump he's made, and we were all a little skeptical, I think, of not getting all the way back, but the timing and how long it would take for him to get back from the injury last year, and it feels like he's hitting his stride and he's taking that jump, and it is really impressive, from the scoring to the facilitating to also what he does on the defensive side. And I think he's also grown as a leader as well. He's a lot more communicates a lot more in the film room, on the floor, and I think that's been a huge jump for him, because he's always kind of in spurts did the things we see him doing, but the more he talks, the more he's expressing to everybody what he sees, to coach what he sees, has helped him, I think, take another jump.
When Jordan is playing within that rhythm and confidence, is there something that he does or that you're looking for to let you know that he is playing that way?
You can see it. You can see it on the defensive side. I thought when he came in the other night, he right away kind of got like a deflection and maybe a steal, and was able to kind of get out and transition. I always think, transition baskets, easy baskets, help you kind of get your rhythm going on the offensive end. And for a guy that's has always scored the ball, getting in that rhythm sooner rather than later is helpful. And so I think just kind of igniting it on the defensive side of the ball, and not necessarily just thinking about one area of the game more than another, kind of helps him ease into it a little bit smoother. But I think he's been giving us great pop off the bench, and even when he hasn't scored it, I've always we felt like he's doing other things, whether it's defensively, whether it's making the extra passes or screening or whatever.
You referenced Texas A&M's offensive rebounding, but what are the other challenges that they pose?
The rebounding is real. And then, they have two guards that, are as good as any backcourt in the country with Wade and Rayford, and those guys are playing really well right now. So being able to, slow them down. I mean, guys like that are volume to the level that they are, it's really hard to stop them, right? And they're high-level guys, and so just doing a good job on them is going to be a key.
I feel like Cam's taken advantage of his opportunities the last couple times out.
What was that?
You feel like Cam has taken advantage of his opportunities?
Yeah, I do. I do. Cam is a confident kid, and it's been fun to see him grow in practice and continue to work hard. And again, that's another guy like defensively. He's got to keep going. And to see his role grow and to get better, to grow in that role, he's got to continue to show and gain trust from coach, from his teammates that he can rely on him defensively, and because he can really shoot the ball, he can score the ball, and so the defensive side is where it's going to be, and I think he has done a good job of maximizing the minutes that he's getting.
A&M has been in a ton of close games, like a 5-point margin. What's the challenge of playing against a team that is going wire to wire, playing those full 40-minute games?
Yeah, I mean, it's the challenge is that if it's close down the stretch, you're in for a dogfight, and it's going to be a tough game anyway. I mean, the environment is great. Coach Williams is a great coach. They have great players. They've been together, and so it's going to be a tough one. But I think being in that many tough games shows you the mental toughness of their group and the togetherness of their group, and so. It's going to be a great matchup, and something that we're going to have to be able to match or surpass their mental toughness and physical toughness for the duration of the game, and knowing coming down that stretch that they have been in those battles, but we have to, and we're confident in ourselves and what we do that we can match that.
When you're on the road these days, what kind of intensity do you sort of expect both from the opponent and its crowd when? Kind of when you look at the numbers, it all would be a signature win for teams trying to get in the tournament. How much even more intensity do you think that makes the guys have to expect from the other side?
Yeah, I mean, we talk to our guys all the time about it, and I don't think it's just us. I think it's, it does increase it when you do have a number in front of you. Like I'm not going to be oblivious to that. But at this time of year, all wins are huge, and I feel like. Whether it's us coming in there or whether it's whoever else in the SEC, like for the home team, these are must wins. Like you got to take care of your home court if you want to. A good team like Texas A&M wanting to make it to the NCAA tournament. If you want to get there, you got to take care of home court, and that's the same way we feel. Like we have a sense of urgency when we're at home, and so we come in expecting everybody's best punch at this time of year because these wins are so valuable.
Coach, with Santi, a lot of people fixate on the scoring aspect because they've seen him put up the points in the past few years. Obviously, his defense has been really good, but something that's kind of stood out in the past couple games is his willingness to dive onto the floor. In that Kentucky game, gets that ball, gives it to Cameron, feeds the alley-oop. In the last game, saves the ball from going out of bounds, leads to Jordan getting a layup. How much of a spark does that provide the team?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge because you're talking about an all-league level guy who, he's all about winning. That's what I think kind of gets lost in, whether it's they talk about his scoring's not where it was. Like Santi's a winner. I never thought Santi was a guy that just focused on scoring or just focused on one thing. He's one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around, and his main focus is in the school board. Like whether he scores 30 points or whether he scores 2 points, he's the same guy after the game as long as we win. If we don't win, he's upset, he's down, but as long as we win, and you feel his presence in every win, whether it's those little plays where he's diving on the floor, he's got those loose balls, which end up being big plays and big momentum swingers in the game, and you can always count on him being a high-level defender, if you watch the game, you see him orchestrating the defense, putting guys in places, and when we're in rotations and all of that. So what he brings is invaluable and way more than things that show up on the stat sheet sometimes. But with seeing him do that for all of our guys, and seeing him make those type of plays, it shows that, look, shoot, we expect everybody to do it. If Santi's doing it, we expect everybody to be able to get on the floor and make those kind of plays.
How unusual is it for someone to sort of go through their career and accept that or embrace that kind of role change? Because Santi's made 315 or so threes in his college career. Now he's not shooting as much. I mean, it's just not normally something you see later in a guy's career. He takes fewer shots.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, with Santi, it's all about winning. It's all about winning, and it just shows how great of a teammate he is, and how much of a winner that he is. That he's willing to maybe, you know, pass up a good shot for a great shot. I think he's doing a great job of moving off the ball, cutting. I think he's doing a great job of getting to the basket. If you look at his assist to turnover ratio, I mean, it is probably as high as it's been since he's been here. And so he's facilitating, he's making guys better. And look, he's a high IQ guy. He understands how teams are playing him. I mean, he doesn't really get a lot of great looks, and he understands how they're closing out to him, and he makes them pay for it. So, you know, I think it all comes down to just his single focus. The single reason why he came back is to win basketball games. It wasn't to add on to his legacy, add on to his stats. It was to win, and he will do whatever it takes to win.
How hard is it to speed up a team that plays slow in comparison to a team that plays fast and you're trying to slow them down?
You know what? It's tough. It's tough, but you know, there's still some things. Like, I thought last game, they wanted to kind of slow the tempo down a little bit, and I thought we did a good job of forcing tempo and playing faster. And so I think we have to be in those games, continue to be aggressive, to continue to be mindful of, hey, we play at our pace and do what we do. But you know, again, a team that wants to walk it up and play in the half court and take long possessions, it is tough to speed them up, because you know that's what they're kind of accustomed to doing. But we have to, on our side, make sure we continue to be who we are and play Tennessee basketball.
There's tons of shooters on this team. When they're all on, how elite do you think this team can be?
I think we can be as good a team that there is in the country, because we do have a lot of options. We have a lot of weapons. But I would also say, like, we gotta make sure we are taking care of the backboard, that we are rebounding the basketball, that we are sharing the ball, doing all the little things, getting the 50-50 balls in order to get to where we want to be. And you know, I think we have as many shooters as we had since I've been here. But I think the last few years we've had some good offensive players, but you hit those lulls when you know, it's tough to score, and you got to rely on those other things, and that's what we are continuously being mindful of with our guys. Like, you're not always going to make shots. We got to make sure we're doing all the other stuff that leads up to it.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all.